I know you've got a new Christmas collection coming soon.
Yeah.
I was just hoping you could share a little bit about the title.
Oh, so it's titled Like a Child, and Like a Child is the only original on that. It's two covers and an original. I wrote Like a Child when I lived in Brooklyn. It was the dead of winter, and I was sitting at my piano with the Brooklyn radiator clanking behind me, and I wanted to write a Christmas song, and the only way I could think to write it was to remember the things about my first Christmas in the States. And so I thought to myself, man, I wish I could always enjoy Christmas like a child. And the song was born. So if you listen to that, just know that Like a Child comes from a super real place. Little drummer boy. I don't see a point in doing a cover unless you're going to do it really well. That's one of my favorites. And then Wonderful Christmas Time just feels really good. So October 20th, if you hear that, if you're reading this right now, go check it out.
Questions? Blessing,
yes.
The song Your Love. Tell me about Your Love.
Your Love is the truth. The idea being behind that song is just that when the world is going crazy, not like we know anything about that, all you want to do, where the only place you want to be is right in the middle of God's love. And I wanted to write it, as I always do, in a way that can appeal to listeners who have not been to church. And that's how that song came about. You guys are quiet. Come on. This season being the fall, or just... I think back to a few days ago, my dad said to me, he said, Blessing, I don't care what kind of music you make. He says, I just want you to make music that reminds people that God is good. So I know my music isn't the normal Christian music sound, whatever that is, but I'm super grateful that this genre is open enough to allow for an artist like myself. And I'm grateful that making music that reminds people that God is good, even if it doesn't sound like what people are used to, is still effective. So this means actually quite a bit to me, and I can't wait to call him and tell him he's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Last questions? One more.
Ooh, aspiring artists. I was talking to a friend of mine earlier, and I said, I think some people would rather be, or some people want to be famous more than they want to play music. So music just happens to be a means to an end for them. Music is their way of getting famous. And for me, being known, whatever, being famous, quote unquote, happens to be a byproduct of working hard, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that all of this is happening, but the point was always to be the best musician possible, the best singer, the best songwriter. So my advice is just to ask yourself what you're doing it for, and if it's for fame, there are way easier ways. But if it's because you love music, then keep going. Yeah.
Any more questions, guys? Yeah. How's the tour going with Angel?
Oh, those goofballs. I love those guys. It's going wonderfully. I said to Rachel one time, I was like, hey, do you want to just come up and do a song with me? And she's on it. She's like, oh, of course. And spontaneously we changed my set list, and this sounds great. So those two already feel like family to me. I love them, and I love getting to hang out with them. So please print this, go get the tickets, and we'll see you on the road. That it? Thank you guys, I appreciate it.